Hello and welcome back. It's summertime, so much thing to do, but we need to look at some old school matches. So today I have two great players battling it out. The first player is Øyvind. He's an awesome Norwegian guy. He likes to travel around the world, and I think he went to LobsterCon and is down in Europe, and yeah, a really traveling mage. And the other one is a really world traveler. His name is Mitja. He is a vendor and a gamer. He's big on card market, and I've done a lot of trading with him. He's one of those guys you can like here's a box of rare cards. Can I trade this into a MOX or something? And you can make it happen. So you get rid of a lot of cards, and you get down to those cool old cards. The cards that is worth owning, and they're not getting reprinted or anything, except for M30, but let's not talk about that. Anyway, let's not ramble. Mitja is awesome. He has a YouTube channel. It's the Sky Guild. If you like watching my videos, you would probably love to watch his videos as well. So yeah, now we should look at some decks. And here is the first deck. Player name is Øyvind. And what is this? Okay, I see Mana Flare and Candelabra. So that's a combo. There isn't any creatures. There are Abyss. And there are maces and fireball and lightning bolt. So this is like a candle flare deck, but it's really controlling with those abysses and maces and all that. Counter spell, lots of power. Yeah, so it's pretty similar to Audun's candle flare, but there are some differences. I can't quite remember all the cards from Audun's deck, but yeah, looks solid. I love the candle flare. And yeah, there's an ally from Cairo in his sideboard, since he doesn't have any creatures. Pretty cool to put in an ally from Cairo if your opponent is sideboarding out all creature removal. Yeah, so that's the first deck. And here is the second deck. Player name is Mitja. And here's a pile of cards. There are blue cards, there are white cards, they're all stacked together. So it's like a lion deck. Let's call it Mitja's line. And if you want to get the exact list, you can do the job. But I'm not going, so let's go down to the match. Okay, game number one. You have Øyvind to the left and Mitja to the right. Mitja is on the play, turn one library. A very good start. And here's a land and a MOX and a time walk from Øyvind. Alright. Let's see what he can do with that extra turn. And there's a volcanic. Or a City of Brass. 3 mana. Draw 7. Time Twister. Okay, so now I can try to find some answers for that library. So he's probably looking for a Strip Mine or a Chaos Orb. And there Mitja was drawing 2 cards, but one of the cards was the end of turn library activation, but he didn't tap his library, but that's just a shortcut. But it is good to be clear when you play on camera, unless the internet is going to start typing that you draw too many cards. And here comes the first line, and he meets a bolt. Øyvind has 1 factory. Ooh, and a mind twist. And a counterspell for Mitja. So now they both have 1 factory. Ooh, and there's a Chaos Orb. So now, when do you activate it? If Øyvind activates his Chaos Orb, Mitja can respond with a Disenchant or Shatter, and there it is. And a Regrowth, and I think he took the Time Twist, no, Mind Twist. A Suchi for Mitja. He has 2 factories as well. Øyvind has only 1. So, is it time for a Mind Twist? He's leaving up 2 blue. So he can keep 2 cards, 3 land and a balance. It's put into the graveyard. And here is an attack for 8. So now Øyvind has the card advantage, but can he manage all those creatures? There's a fireball on one of the Suchis and a Mana Drain for Mitja. And ooh, a fork! Oh, that's cool. So Øyvind made a copy of the Mana Drain and used that to counter Mitja's Mana Drain. So that's a red counter spell, so that's pretty cool. And here's the Ancestral. Ooh, and a book. Okay, so now Øyvind is down to 3. So Mitja is attacking with one of his factories. So Øyvind has to block here. And they trade. And Asuchi. Can Øyvind find answers for all the cards? He needs to deal with those 2 creatures. Ooh, a fireball on Asuchi again. And a disenchant to the factory. Okay. A lot of answers. Yeah, this is shaping up to be a really grindfest. And Mitja doesn't have any Psionic Blast in his deck, so he needs to win with creatures. Ooh, speaking about creature, there's a Serra Angel, but a counter spell, and a counter spell for Mitja. Okay, so the Serra Angel resolved. Oh, that was a 3rd fireball. And a Mind Twist. So the spells are flying here. And a counter spell. Yeah, both these decks are full of great cards. So and very efficient cards, so it's hard to have any creatures stick around. Okay, something. Yeah, there was a Gem-Day activation. There's a Savannah Lion. Øyvind is on 1 life, so everything is lethal now. We do have a factory to block with. Tapping that book, drawing some cards. Ooh, a Candelabra. So the Candelabra can be used to, and there's some Time Walk for Mitja, so the Candelabra can be used to make the factory bigger. And yeah, there's a Disenchant, now a Sword of Closure on the factory. So Øyvind gains 2 life and is up to 3. Now he can actually survive a Savannah Lion, but there's an Abyss and a Disenchant on the Gem-Day Tome. So that's a kind of a decision point. Do you take out the Abyss so your creatures can survive, or do you take the Gemday Tome? But in this case, when Mitja doesn't have any creatures, I think it's correct to take out the Gemday Tome. Ooh, a Demonic Tutor. So the Ancestral is gone, the Mind Twist is gone. So it's Brain Geyser time, perhaps? There's a Brain Geyser. You could, of course, wait a turn to get an even bigger Brain Geyser, but no, even has a mace in play. So with that mace also we can use the candelabra. You can tap the mace to remove an attacking creature, and then you can activate your candelabra and untap the mace and use it again. So the candelabra is really good on maces and factories. And of course his deck is also playing with a mana flare, so then candelabra is super good. Okay, tapping a lot of cards here. Amnesia. And a counterspell. No sir. Demonic Tutor for Mitja. So I can't quite remember which card Mitja played. But I guess it's I found a blue card. Let's see if there's an end of turn Ancestral. Yes, it is. Ooh, and now Mitja has 7 cards in hand and can start using the library again. And there's a Gemday Tome and a Mana Drain. Time Walk from Eivind. So at this point, it's going to be pretty hard for Mitja to get any damage through. Eivind has 2 maces, he has 2 candelabras, he has an Abyss, or the Abyss is gone now, but yeah, and Mitja doesn't have any damage spells, like the Psionic Blast. Okay, so he's working on it, he took care of the Abyss, and now one of the candelabras. But getting rid of maces is really hard. He has a Strip Mine and he has a Chaos Orb. There's a Svanline and a Serra Angel. And he has a Factory. But Eivind can stop all those with the use of his mace and candelabras and Abyss. Wow. So much answers, but Mitja is stubborn, playing out a line into an active Abyss and maces and all that. Let's see if he has a plan here. Could be an end of turn disenchant. Otherwise, it's pretty bad. Okay, so now they start counting the library. Yeah, that is an alternative win here. Mitja could end in a couple of turns when Eivind's library is even shorter. Then he perhaps could win with a Brain Geyser. Okay, Wheel of Fortune. Yes, now there's even fewer cards. And the Time Twister, Eivind's Time Twister is in his graveyard, so he can't use that to shuffle in his graveyard. And I don't think Mitja is playing with Time Twister. And there's a balance. Okay. So they need to count to see they need to have equal amounts of lands, creatures, and cards in hand. So Mitja is discarding a couple of cards, and Øyvind is removing a couple of lands, and then the balance is resolved. Okay, that's a Chaos Orb. And a copy artifact, making a copy of the Chaos Orb. Okay, so now you can start attacking the maces. There's one mace down. And the other one. There you go. Okay, that was a good turn. And now Mitja can attack with 2 factories. Oh, wow. Oh. And Øyvind is down to 1 again. And there's a factory for Øyvind. Is there any removal from Mitja? There's a book. And tapping the book. Attacking with a factory. And so deploying the opponent's factory. So Øyvind's up to 3 and down to 1 again. Oh, is it Brain Geyser time? Oh yeah. Wow, so he decked Øyvind. Yeah, that was a grindy one. Alright, game number 2. The first game was really long. I speed up the matches. As you can see, things moves a bit quick, but I guess they didn't have that much time left. A library from Øyvind and a time walk from Mitja. Okay, Suchi. When your opponent have an active library, you need to play aggressive and try to win as fast as possible. Øyvind played a mace, so he can deal with that Suchi. Mitja make a copy of the Suchi. Tapping 2 mana, time walk into a counterspell. So counterspelling the time walk isn't that common, but since Øyvind has an active library, I think it's okay to counter it. And Mitja has to play very aggressive, unless Øyvind's card advantage is going to overwhelm him. So now there are 3 Suchis in play. Øyvind has that library, he has a factory, and a mace, and a mox. So they're discussing something. He's counting his mana. He did play that volcanic island this turn. Just past the turn. Okay. And here comes the cavalry. The maces takes care of one of the Suchis. Factory is going to block another one, but Mitja disenchants it. And a mana drain on the disenchant. But the factory is gone, and Øyvind takes 4 damage. He's down to 10. And he casts a mana drain, countering a disenchant, so that's 2 mana. That's what the dice are for. Doing some a fireball on this one of the Suchis. Just need to tap the correct amount of lands and use that mana drain mana. Now there's only 2 switches. Down to 6 life. Mitja got a factory now as well, so we can do 6 damage next turn. Is there anything from Øyvind? Tapping that library. So he's really in the tank here, doing some thinking, counting his land. Is there any way to get out of this? Flash fires, okay. And he scoops. Okay, there was a candelabra there. Huh. Alright, it's over. Okay, so Mitja won 2-0. And yeah, that first match, that was a really long one. And it kind of shows there's a little problem in old school that creatures are pretty bad and removal are super good. So when you have multicolor decks with all those super good removal and you have those medium creatures, yeah, they're just getting destroyed and it's become a grind fest. And yeah, Mitja won with a brain geyser, so that's the way to win. I think that's the first deck win on this channel, so yeah, good win. I've gotten a couple of questions about Patreon and all that, and I don't want to commit, because if I do Patreon and all that, and I have prescriptions and you can pay monthly and all that, I feel like I'm getting a more obligation to post videos and do all that, and I want to just keep this as a hobby. I have gotten over 1,000 subscribers now, so I get like 30 euros each month. So at least I have to pay for editing software and music and all that. So there are something I have to pay. So it's get even now, and perhaps I can save up those YouTube dollars to a magic card someday. That would be cool. So Patreon, not right now at least. I think it's important for our community to have some people doing shit. Some people is holding tournaments, and a guy like me is filming. So and we'll do this for a while, and maybe it comes in other channels and pick up the torch later. But yeah. Anyway, summertime. These lights here make it so hot, so I'm sweating after recording this. So now I'm gonna take the kids out for a bath. So until next time, friends, I'll see you around. Goodbye.